Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, welcome to the Trav Torch Show. It's your boy Trav Torch, your host, and this is episode 7, How to Properly Release a Single. Independent artist, I'm here for you. I've made a lot of mistakes over the years, but I've learned a lot. So I kind of put together a little guide to make sure that you cover all your bases and you're doing everything that your major label counterparts are doing so you can compete. Before I get started, little plug some Trav Torch news. I got a new single coming out this Monday. That's October 26, 2020. The name of the song is called Do It Again, and it's the first single off my upcoming, this is breaking news now, first single off my upcoming project. I don't know if it's going to be an album or an EP yet, but it's a collective of songs, if you will. It's called The Bedroom Soundtrack, dropping Valentine's Day 2021. So I know 2020 was a rough year, so I'm gonna give y'all some nice sensual bedroom music to help y'all get over it. So first things first, before you even release the song, your single, ask yourself and be honest. How does the song sound? Is it a good quality product? Is it well recorded, well mixed, well mastered? If not, don't even bother trying to put it out. You're wasting your time. You should ask yourself before you put this out. If I play this, if I'm a rapper and I play it next to a Drake record, or I play it next to I don't know, Lil Baby, whoever's hot right now. If I play it next to one of their records, does it compete? Is it competitive? And that's in terms of sound quality, in terms of how hot the record is. All of those things are important because if you can't play your record either before or after a popular major label record, then you have no business putting the record out. That's just how it is. What's the quality of your artwork on the single? You know, does your artwork compete with artwork that's being released by the major labels? Is the quality good? Does it look blurry when you enlarge it? If so, it's not a good product. So you need to make sure that in addition to working with reputable people that's mixing and mastering your stuff, and I don't mean they have to be famous, but just they got to know what they're doing. Same thing with your graphic designer. Your graphic designer needs to know what they're doing as well, so that you don't put out a product and the artwork looks cheap or cheesy. So once you have all that done, make sure you have the rights and permission to use whatever beat you're using. You don't want to put out a track and now you're being sent a cease and desist letter or whatever by the producer because you're using his or her beat without their permission. So you want to make sure that before you even move on to the next step, you have the proper rights to use whatever beat you're using, and that you discuss with the producer what the split is going to be. What percentage of the writer share and publisher share you guys are going to do. Usually it's 50-50, but you should discuss it. And if you don't know about writer share and publisher share, just look it up. Do some internet research and familiarize yourself with that, because that could be a whole separate video or episode. Figure out who you're going to use or what company you're going to use to distribute your song. There's a lot of companies out there. There's CD Baby, there's TuneCore, DistroKid. There's a lot of distributors out there, and they all basically they'll do the same thing, but they have different capabilities and contracts. So I encourage you to do your research and figure out which distributor you want to release your music through. Make sure that you personally are registered with a PRO or a performing rights organization. There's three of them in the United States. There's BMI, there's ASCAP, and there's CSAC. I'm registered with ASCAP. I know a lot of people that are registered with BMI. I know people that are registered with CSAC. At the end of the day, they pretty much all do the same thing. They allow you to collect your royalties, but you can only register with one. So make sure you register with one, and then, we'll take it from there. And once you do that, that's not enough to collect your publishing royalties. You still have to have an administrator. So a company that acts as an administrator, a publishing administrator, is a company that will collect your publishing royalties. So just because you register with ASCAP, it doesn't mean, or BMI, doesn't mean they're going to collect the money. You just have a home membership with those companies, but you still need an administrator. So when I put out my first album, Bachelor Life, I used CD Baby as a distributor, and CD Baby had like a built-in, feature where if you pay a little extra or if you give them a certain percentage of your publishing, they'll act as a publishing administrator and they'll collect your money. I'm not using CD Baby currently. I'm currently using the Orchard, and right now, even though they announced a partnership with Sony ATV Publishing, it's not available just yet to all of the artists on the Orchard. So I've been using a company called Song Trust that acts as my publishing administrator to collect my publishing royalties. Once you get that taken care of, make sure you copyright your song. All right. If somebody steals your song, you cannot sue them unless your song is registered with the U.S. Copyright Office. And it's not hard. You literally just go on copyright.gov. I'm not gonna. I don't mean to downplay the difficulty level of this. If you've never done it before, you should probably consult with, at the very least, an attorney. I'm not here. This is not legal advice, but I've copywritten every single song that I've ever done, that I've ever released commercially. I've copywritten those songs. You go online, you create an account, you pick the standard form option. It's a fee of $65. You fill out all the questions. At the end, they give you the opportunity to upload the song, and that's that. If you did something wrong, which I've done in the past, I've had attorneys from the Copyright Office contact me to clarify things, and they were able to push my application through. So, it's something that it's worth trying. Just make sure when you fill out the form, the forms completely and to the best of your abilities, and you should be good. If not, if it seems a little too complicated for you, hire an attorney that specializes in intellectual property. So after you take care of the copyright, you're going to register your song with SoundScan, and you have to do it twice. You have to do it, one, as a title, and two, as the what's called the ISRC code that's associated with your song. So every release has two codes. They have a UPC code and an ISRC code, and usually those codes are assigned to your song or your project by your distributor. So that's something that you should be looking for when you choose a distributor. Is the distributor giving you those codes free of charge or included in the deal or whatever it is? But when you get those codes, you literally could just do an internet search of of register song with SoundScan title and then register song with SoundScan ISRC. You fill out both of those forms and you literally can do them both in under 10 minutes. But what that allows is that allows SoundScan to keep track of your sales. So that's important if you ever have aspirations of going gold or platinum or whatever. Sky's the limit, right? You're also going to want to register with Sound Exchange. Now, Sound Exchange is a way to it's a nonprofit performance rights association that collects royalties when your music is played on a non-interactive service such as Pandora. So the difference is your publishing administrator and your distributor will collect royalties based off of the interactive services like Spotify or Apple Music, Amazon Music, when people just go right to your profile and play your songs. But for non-interactive, Pandora, SiriusXM, you'll need to register with Sound Exchange to collect those royalties as well. After you register with Sound Exchange, you could do that. That's at soundexchange.com. After you do that, make sure you set up your profiles with all the for artists page. What does that mean? Spotify for artists, Apple Music for artists, Amazon Music for artists. These streaming services have profiles that you could set up. So you could set up the way your Spotify page looks when people go to your page on Spotify using the Spotify for Artists app. And you want to do that so when people go to your page, it looks professional. All you have to do is go to your favorite major label artist page, see how their page looks like, and then just do the same thing for yours. It's just that simple. Anything that you want to do in terms of your release, all these things I'm saying to you, they've already been done, and there's something out there for you to watch to model after. After you make sure all your pages on the streaming services are looking right, you're going to want to register the song with Nielsen BDS and encode your release into their system. You have to register your song with Nielsen BDS systems because it tracks and it feeds data to the Billboard charts. It's the only way you can chart on a Billboard is if they can track your song with their system. And it's easy. You just go, you apply for a membership. They'll email you a username and password, and from there you can just submit everything you need to submit. You're going to want to register your song with MediaBase. Now, what is MediaBase? MediaBase is a system that tracks radio play. So even if you don't anticipate getting any radio play, you may be surprised. Your song could gain some traction, and the next thing you know, it's playing on radio stations somewhere across the country, and you should get credit for that. So make sure you register your song with MediaBase. You could literally just type in the internet search, how to register a song with MediaBase, and then the MediaBase website will come up. After you've done all that, and you're set, you're excited about your new release, plan your release strategy. Before you select your release date, plan your release strategy. Figure out how you're going to promote your song, because there's no point putting out a song and nobody hears it. And maybe nobody hears it because nobody cares. Maybe nobody hears it because you didn't make people want to hear it, but you have to make people want to hear your music. So you got to put together a strategy. Your strategy could be dropping a music video at the same time. That's been done before. That works. Your strategy could be securing spots on playlists. It could be investing in radio play, and it doesn't have to be a major radio station. It could be local radio stations, college radio. other independent radio stations that independent artists can get access to. A social media strategy using influencers. So maybe, there's a lot of people on Instagram that do comedy. Maybe you reach out to one of them and see if they could do a skit with your song playing in the background. There's a lot of different things that you could do creatively to promote your new single. Just make sure you don't release the song and now you're sitting on your thumbs, twirling your thumbs, sitting on your hands, trying to figure out what to do. Because by then it's you wasted time. I'm not saying it's too late, but you wasted time. And we can't afford to waste time, especially after you and work so hard to make sure your single is good and you've done everything else I told you to do in this episode. So once again, if you are watching on YouTube and you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you're listening on Spotify or any other of the podcast platforms, please like, share, whatever you can do on those platforms. I greatly appreciate it. And until next time, it's your boy Trav Torch. Peace.